A lot of people get on the breathwork train, yet a lot of people are also getting affected by it in a negative way. It's causing like overloading of their nervous system, and it's not actually doing the thing that you want it to do. Today we are talking about breathwork. It's pretty popular these days, and with its emergence, the popularity, particularly through methods like Wim Hof and holotropic breath work, all of these sorts of things. So I thought we'd have a conversation about breath work, how we can look at it in a way that supports your body to regulate, in a way that supports your body to regenerate and nourishes you for you, rather than trying to fit you into do this breath work, then you'll get some sort of magical outcome. It's not exactly how it works. So let's open up the conversation. We'll start with like what is breath work from a basic perspective.
Yeah, thanks for the intro. Yeah, it feels like if you make it really simple, what breath work is, then it's just becoming conscious about your breath in this moment. And maybe this is the simplest way to look at it. So just to see breathing is happening anyway. It's just the survival instinct of the body. And with this bringing conscious awareness to it, we can just see deeper habits in our system affected by our past, especially in emotional patterns. Yeah, this is maybe the easiest way to look at it.
Yeah, it's a good point. I sort of see the breath as a bridge, between the experience, like the mental experience and the body experience. The breath provides a bridge between these two realities because it's a physical thing that then when we notice it, we notice everything that's happening within us. And so it can be a gateway towards self awareness. And it can also be a gateway toward distraction.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just had a session the other day. It was about nervous system regulation. And this guy was used to focusing or bring the awareness into his breathing. And then I was just observing him, and he was using the breath to distract himself from what's really happening in the body. It's also easy to just get drawn away into your illusions and then just not really facing what's happening in the body. Yeah, and for this, breathing can be useful if you stay aware what's happening in the body, because this is where the regulation needs to happen.
Mm,
This is just bringing back what you just mentioned, bridging between mental and physical experiences.
yeah.
Just have
Yeah.
to be mindful, not getting drawn away.
So I think that kind of leads to, like how can we go about breath work? And there's really like two basic principles that you can build from. And that's like first, connecting with the fact that your breath is an inherent process that happens without you doing anything.
Yeah.
So before you even thought about breath work, you were still breathing. There is then a question of, well, how am I breathing, and what are the effects of that, and what are the things that are affecting my breathing, and the continuum that goes on. And so that's where just first becoming aware of that you are breathing and just noticing that process without doing anything is already inherently useful, because you get to know yourself through what's happening physiologically. You might not think that you're stressed, but then
Yeah.
you notice your breathing and you notice, oh, I feel tight in my chest or around my diaphragm or my abdomen, all of it. And then that's going to start to invite opening up certain questions. Oh, okay, well, when's that happening? And so just starting that process of becoming aware of the breath is already breath work without even trying to breathe. And
And this, in a way, is just the most important thing which many practitioners or exercises are missing, because they think the way they breathe it's wrong and they want to apply a specific technique to improve their breathing.
mm,
And this is creating, or the potential to create even more stress is very high.
yeah, yeah, like going in already with the intent to do breath work because of XYZ benefit, with the
Yes.
inherent belief that the way I breathe is wrong
Yes.
and that I need to improve it. You're already capping yourself before you even start at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where awareness can be helpful of just going, okay, I breathe. It's a natural part of my physiology and it connects with the way I think, the way I feel, the way my body functions. And just through the process of becoming aware of it, there is a self-awareness process that like that's the work of like getting to know yourself. Then there's the other side of we can start to take more conscious control over the breath for different effects. It's useful though if we let those effects happen and just sort of almost use it as first like a way to focus our mind of like a simple way would be to choose, box breathing is like one of the more common breathing techniques of like you breathe in for a certain period of time, you hold at the top for a certain period of time, breathe out for a certain period of time, and you hold at the bottom for a certain period of time. Why it's a box is they're all the same.
Yeah.
Like this is like a simple way to get started. Now, as you do that, letting go of the outcome of like, oh, I'm doing this timing and that's going to give me this thing. I'm going to regulate my nervous system. I'm going to heal my body. I'm going to have psychedelic experiences and then have some sort of a spiritual epiphany of knowing exactly what my life's about because I did this breathing technique. Letting go of all of that and then just using it as a tool to focus your mind and then observing what happens physiologically. Yeah, then you can start to be, I suppose, there are different breathing methods that will give different effects, definitely.
Yeah. And if you just use this simple idea of box breathing, just becoming aware of how the body is interacting with this breathing rhythm, how your psyche is interacting with this breathing rhythm, those are the things which are really interesting, not to focus on what's the outcome, more on what's happening with me and with my body when I'm practicing this. Those are the insights which are needed to just have to create more freedom in the body and in yourself,
Yeah.
not that this technique is done right.
Yeah. And I love often see practice as like one of the core benefits is it invites you into a reflective process of yourself. A lot of the challenges that we experience are just rooted in a lack of awareness.
Yes.
And so, whatever method of breathing you choose first, we can choose, okay, I can become aware of my breathing. And then I could choose a particular cadence of breathing or a ratio of breathing to just give me something to focus on. And then, when we start that process by giving our mind something to focus on, all of the things that we, often initially is like we realize how distracted we are.
Yes.
Our inability to focus, like we're in a
Yeah.
social media Instagram world of like 3 seconds is too long to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the start. Like to start to develop an ability to focus on one thing and see yourself, see your boredom, see you wanting to escape the experience, see all of the experiences that you've had that you're holding in your experience, memories will surface, all these sorts of things, and we get to look at it and go, oh, wow, I spend a lot of time out of the present moment, come back to what is present, and that can be the breath.
And within this, everything will show itself. And maybe this is what often is missed or misunderstood, that it's just be there and watch and use any technique just to give your mind something to do. And within this, your eyes will open up and you can see.
Mm. I think that's a really powerful point to end on, in that, the
Yeah.
real power comes not in practicing breathing or doing breath work in an isolation chamber that's separate from the rest of your life. It's like something that you do, but it can be something that you bring to enrich your life. It's
Yes.
something you apply to your life, whether it's you're going for a walk and you are in a funk, or you're feeling certain emotions, come back to your breathing, get present with what's happening in the moment and bring that into your interactions, into your hobbies, into your children, all of your facets.
And just become aware of the quality, the physiological experience, and you will get a picture what's happening in your system, in your body, in yourself. And this in itself will just be supportive for your physical freedom.
Well, there you go. There's how to get started with breathwork. Some simple ways. You can start with one breath right now. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again in another video.
Yeah, bye-bye.